This is the MDR-X. Thanks for watching. MDR-X by Desert Tech, chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. Fire controls are very AR-like, feels pretty good. 45-degree throw roundabouts, love it. Magazine release. Ambidextrous. And triple ambidextrous. Pretty freaking awesome. I love this thing already, as long as it works. Ergonomically, it's pretty sweet. I am going to be shooting it in the left-hand configuration as a right-handed person because I want to see what the other side is going to have to deal with, or not really what the other side has to deal with because you can swap it around. But I want to know what would happen if we have to swap over and use it from around the corner because we're uber tactical bad around here. All right, and this little trapdoor is going to open right there and shoot them out. We got 6.5 Creedmoor right there. We're gonna gas her up, and here we go. So let's do it. That's mild. That's really awesome. So, it feels like my AR-15. So I don't know how this compares to the Scar 17 in weight. It probably is a little bit heavier. At least it handles a little bit heavier.
I'm pretty sure it's heavier.
But the Scar 17 slapped me in the face. This, you've got the recoil going on right here. Everything's happening right here in front of your face. That said, it's supple, man. It feels like I'm shooting in fact, it feels like I'm shooting an AR with a 16-inch barrel, as opposed to, you know, my 11.5-inch barrel. The muzzle blast is not super significant. I'm not doubled up on earring protection right now. Even though this is a both muzzle brake, substantially a muzzle brake, as opposed to concussion reducing device or something like that. It's a dual port badassery muzzle brake, which you would think would deafen you, but as the shooter, not so much. I don't know what you guys felt over there.
It's not too bad. It's not a 50 cal.
Yeah, it does shoot really flat. The gun isn't super lightweight, but it handles well because it's so short. It does have some compensation. I was looking through the scope. I'm only shooting at about maybe 50 yards, and no noticeable like muzzle rise. It's pretty flat shooting, and it's kind of darkish. It's been overcast all day, and no noticeable muzzle flash through the optic. We'll see.
The sun is thereabouts.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the slow motion. See if I can catch any kind of muzzle flash, because it is lower light around here. But man, I'm just that's really cool. And this is set up for a left-hander right now, and I'm shooting it as a right-hander. You can see the case that it left in there. It's going to, when Vincent gasses this up with 5 more 6.5 Creedmoor rounds, it's going to chamber the next round, and when it does so, it's going to poop that spent casing out.
You can actually do it right now if you want.
I could do it right now, but, you know, it's just super cool. Let's do it right now. You know what? Let's just do it and do that.
Well, you can push this button right here.
I could do that, but, you know, I'm just...
You're going to have to because there's a magazine in there.
Oh, right. So we're going to remove that because the bolt catch, and then we're just going to go ahead and release it with the...
because you've got it in the tabs now.
Oh, if the tabs are there, then the bolt catch don't work. Well, I'm going to put it back on the bolt catch and then release the magazine And then... And there it goes. That's so cool. Okay, so... This is just my perspective, having shot pretty much AR-15s, done some shooting on the HK MP5 style rifles where you have the bolt catch, where you can lock things open that way. I have to say, you've got a bolt hold open, which is like your AR-15 bolt hold open, but AR-15s don't have this HK style lock. So it would take some training to get used to having both this lock of the bolt release and then also knowing that if you have this locked, the bolt release doesn't do anything. That's an interesting point. I would almost say, I would almost rather see that not have the lock in the back position, almost. I don't know.
I'm going to completely disagree with you here.
What?
Because,
I'm just saying what?
Well,
Rationale.
for one, when you're going to go switch mags, you're not even going to touch this, right?
Right.
So it runs empty, you're not going to touch, right?
Right.
Whereas if you need to clear a jam or something, it's way easier to just lock it up.
Sure.
Right? And then you can fill around, you put your new magazine in there.
And then
right?
you slap that down.
Yes.
So if you're used to AR-15 battery of arms, is what I'm saying, it would
right.
require just a little bit of training. If you're used to
That
AR-15,
would even be true if you went from the AR to the SCAR. You know, I mean, they're all a little bit different when you're. I mean, this is a huge change in platform.
Yeah, but so with the SCAR, you run the charging handle. If it locks, you put a new magazine in, and then you can press the one thing that drops the bolt, or you can run the bolt.
Sure.
With this, if it's locked back, I can drop it with the bolt, but this portion of it doesn't work anymore at that point. If you've got it locked to the rear, the button that normally sends the bolt home doesn't work. Yeah. I think that's a consideration for,
it's something to keep in mind.
It's a consideration for us super operator types like me, okay, guys? I mean...
I love its battery of arms. The fact that it has that, I think, it does a lot for like in the field maintenance, or I dropped a mag and I set my bolt home on accident, or you can
You obviously have to know how to work the platform that you're using. If you go back and forth between platforms, I could see where you might get confused between other bullpups too, because there are other bullpups where this would be your release.
This is very Tavor-like, this setup.
Yeah.
Like, I can't recall for sure how the RFB works, because I owned one, but it's been a long time since I've owned it.
There's one of those kind of newer in bullpups that the magazine release is right here, which I've already a couple times tried to get it, and it's like, oh wait, that's the bolt release, and it's not doing anything. Why isn't it doing anything? Oh wait. So obviously, it's to say you need to know how to use it.
If you're gonna...
That's any gun.
Yeah.
But there are some things that kind of combine... There are some things that kind of combine use cases, or combine battery of arms with different platforms. So, know how to use it before you're going to be an elite operator like me.
Put it on safety and hand it to him.
Now the gun is safe, because I put it on a safe switch. So I can do anything with it. He took the magazine out. That's unsafe. You should never touch a gun that somebody else is touching. That's gun safety rule number 747.8-3.
The 6.5 308 setup does in fact use the standard PMags, the 7.62 NATO PMag.
Nice.
All right, cool, awesome. You guys ready?
Stand by.
Ready.
Hot, 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 hot.
This is the MDR from Desert Tech, and we have it currently set up in a 6.5 Creedmoor setup. So it's got the 6.5 20-inch barrel. We've got the 308 ejection port on it. As I mentioned earlier, for it to be 308 versus 6.5, all it takes is a different barrel. It is completely ambidextrous, so you've got your ambidextrous charging handle that it has its own little MP5 notch on it. You can also lock the bolt with that. This is the bolt catch. Basically, when the mag is full, that catches. You can send it forward that way and hit your hand with it.
And the mag is empty?
Yeah. It is a non-reciprocating bolt handle, charging handle rather. So you can see, let's see, it has an ambidextrous safety. Let me get that empty magazine here. There we are. The magazine goes right on in. Bolt catch happens. You can now let go. So when you go to reload, how about this? When you got your empty magazine, get a new full one, throw it in, and there you go. Now you're ready to go. You can also do it by hand if you have a full mag in there. You can do the standard rack and let go. So it has 3 points of magazine ejection. So it's got an ambidextrous switch here. So it's, this big chunky switch works on the left and the right. And then it also, I'm sorry?
Love it.
Yeah. And it's very obvious where it is, right? So it's like you're not going to lose it.
Very AR-15.
And it's also got this spot right here. So if you prefer to, and then keep it all in one spot, you can. So the ejection covers are swappable left hand and right hand. You just swap these plates around. And I think that's really everything. It's a pretty simple unit. Works well so far. I haven't had but a couple of malfunctions, mostly me doing the wrong stuff. This is their muzzle brake flash or compensator flash hider combo. I don't recall what they call it, but
Muzzle brake, compensator, flash hider. It looks like it does it all.
yeah,
I would like to do some low light shooting with it and to see how effective it is at that and whatnot.
at the rate we're going, you may be able to. So the 223 Wild barrel has the exact same on it.
Now, do they have the 223 in a longer format, or are they just specifically saying this is what the 6.5 needs, this is what the 223 needs?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is the answer to that. I do have a Vortex 1-6 sitting on it. This is a Vortex Viper 1-6 PST Gen 2. Yeah. So.
You want us to show us the trigger pull on it?
A trigger pull?
Yeah, since you like to demonstrate them trigger pulls.
Yeah, we didn't trigger. So the trigger pull on this is pretty decent for a Bullpup. I've
Spin it around if you would.
So you can see here that it's got a little bit of take up. It's a little crunchy, and that's where the wall is. So for a Bullpup, it's actually pretty darn good. So you can see there, this is an almost brand new gun. I think we've put what, maybe 160 rounds through it or something like that. So you hand the gun off to other William, he can give impressions of the trigger.
Yeah, what I'm feeling is there's just a little bit of take up, and then you got a little bit of creep. There's like a little bit of sandiness to it, but
and the reason is
take up, a little sandiness, and then it's right there.
So there's actually a bar that runs back here,
right?
And that's the reason why.
All Bullpups have that kind of issue.
Now some of them do it better than others, and this is one of the best. I would say the Kel-Tec also has a pretty good trigger on it, though I think this one edges it out a little bit.
So this is, it's almost like it's 3-stage or 2-stage. No, so it's take up, and then it's like the the light take up, then there's
Yeah.
the crunch, and then it goes. So it's like 2 stages, like boom, boom, click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's better than like a certain HK trigger that we handled,
Oh my God, so much better.
but it's not a Geissele, it's not a higher end Timney or anything like that, but it's a pretty solid trigger. For a Bullpup, it's probably the best I've handled. I can say if you're familiar with Tavors, it's much better than a Tavor trigger.
I've only played with those a little bit. I haven't shot one yet.
Huh?
I haven't shot one.
Ah.
Those do feel chunky. This has a really kind of sleek, elegant feel to it. Tavor's dope rifle, no doubt about it. But this has like a really balance point's really good.
Figure it was out.
What do you think of it in 6.5?
That's the same as 5.56. The recoil is the same as 5.56. I
I
love
just
it.
want to come stand by you.
Yeah, I love it.
What I'll say is this break, standing directly laterally to it, it was loud, but not like super concussive. Yeah, so it wasn't sharp.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't huge like the little bastard muzzle brake on your 308s. That's really sharp. This is not so bad. That's pretty good. The little bastard obviously does its job though. But yeah. So let's switch it out and put it in 223 and let's run it hot. All right, we're gonna do a little running gun. It's gonna be stupid. Let's get stupid. Let's do it. I like that a lot. Very cool. Look at that vibrant color. Holy shit.
Oh, no, right? I'll tell you what, I think that's my favorite part of this whole gun.
Let me come around that side. Oh yeah. William Briddon with Gray Fox Ranch and Gray Fox Gunsmithing.
Like no recoil.
It's a little punchy where I'm standing,
Not where I'm at.
getting smacked a little bit, but it's all good, man. It's not terrible.
Yep. I was a little nervous buying it because I've had a couple of weird experiences with Bullpups, even though they're one of my favorite building systems.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you, so far, we've put probably a little over 200 rounds through it. About a little over 200 rounds, maybe close to 300.
Including the 6.5?
Mm-hmm. And it's, so far it's working good. The only jams that I've had in it are ones that I caused myself.
By not having the right...
Yeah, by not putting the right pieces on it.
Yeah.
So far, it runs really well. So I can definitely say I can recommend it.
Let's bump fire it.
You can sure try. There's a magazine over there.
It probably won't.
Probably not, because it's a little heavy.
Yeah, I'm thinking it won't.
Kind of doubt it will. We can try. You want to try?
I want to try.
So I don't think it recoils enough to actually.
I don't think it does either.
Bump fire. No.
No. It really doesn't recoil enough.
Really doesn't.
Man, that's really cool. I could see with a little bit nicer trigger, because I know competitors are going to complain or whatever. I could see this being a real nice competition gun. Like, it shoots flat. There's very little recoil. Super awesome. I don't want to say I'm in love with it, but it's pretty awesome. I definitely like to get more trigger time with it on a different day. Okay guys, so there it is. The Desert Tech MDR-X chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor and 223 Wild. We got it heated up a little bit. I can feel the grip up here is a little warm right now. But along the whole gripping surface of the gun, even right on the bolts. We've shot other Bullpups before where there are places on the gripping surface of the gun where if you touch the bolts, you get a lot of heat through them and you can actually burn yourself on the bolts. This, even right on this bolt and right where the gas block or barrel trunnion area is, these bolts are actually not hot till they touch at all. In fact, it's hotter up here on the plastic. I imagine that guy is pretty toasty right now, but the barrel's completely shrouded. Man, what a tight little package. I mean, this thing is slick. What more can we say about it?
She shoots good.
She does shoot pretty good.
It is pretty accurate.
This might wear in some. The magazine release, it does take a little bit of pressure, which you would expect that there would have to be some kind of trade-off for being able to have it be ambidextrous, push in from both sides, and then also have this and have it traverse this whole length of the gun. But you do have to push a little bit to get it to drop free with kind of that AR style of battery of arms. This one is very easy to get at, but the magazines do drop cleanly free. It just does take a little bit more push up there than with your standard AR. Yeah, groovy gun. Oh, I don't think we covered this earlier, but this does have a single point sling mount on the rear of it. There's the little cups on the back, and yeah, that's pretty neat. That's thoughtfully added in there. And then there is also a little hand stop there, and of course it is a Magpul M-lock equipped weapon with a lot of places for you to put your super high-tech ninja gear on.
If only it had a spot for a monopod.
I mean, I seriously, you say that and you kind of laugh, but a little 10-round magazine, a nice little tight monopod so that you could, you know, especially with that 6.5 Creedmoor. You said it was what, an 18 or 20-inch barrel?
20-inch.
20-inch 6.5 Creedmoor. You could get some pretty sick accuracy out of that with the right load, I'm sure. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this sort of content, please feel free to like, subscribe, share all of those wonderful things. Comment down in the doobly-doo below. Check out William Briddon with Gray Fox Ranch, Gray Fox Gunsmithing. His links will be down in the doobly-doo, as always. And, yeah, we'll see you next time.